Welcome to today's episode of the Old School Cannabis Project with myself, Blue Sky, Smoke or Rich, and joined today by special guest Bill. Bill from America. We're keeping it like that because Bill, like me, is operating without the protection of the law, unfortunately. He's a victim of the law like myself. So anyway, Bill, welcome to the show, bro. Very nice to have you on, actually. It's been a little while. I've been thinking it'd be cool to get you on. So you've been a long time supporter of the show.
Yeah, I've messaged you for several years back and forth in the comments.
Yeah,
A
man.
couple.
You have. So yeah, welcome to the show, buddy. Nice to have you on.
Hey, nice to meet you, Blue.
And also, I like the fact that you're unashamed brother in Christ as well. I like that, and that's
Well, that's
cool.
that's that's the only reason I ever gave you any time because most people online don't thank God for the plant. They worship the plant. They say, "Oh, the plant saved my life." Well, the plant can't save your life. Only Jesus Christ can.
Exactly true. Nothing
Mhm.
happens except by God's will.
Yep.
So yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, I had you on because I believe you've grown some plants from my packs. So do you want to tell
Yes.
us about that?
Well, I ran through about 10 seeds. I can't grow a lot. I just grow for personal. I don't sell anything. And I help buddies out. I have a few friends that have autistic nonverbal kids and have really rough lives, and I just do it to help. That's it. But I ran through about 10 plants. I only got one female, but I did get some beautiful males. There was one male was kind of a mutant cabbage looking plant, but it still had a good smell. But I didn't save any pollen from that, but I saved pollen from a real nice, it kind of had like a blueberry structure, but it was a sativa and had a real nice candelabra growth pattern. And I had it slammed against the light for almost 6 months, and it just seemed like nothing hurt the plant. It just grew. So I kept it around for a while, and I would take cuttings and I'd flower them out in the window and then save pollen from it. And then I've just been waiting to get a female, and I got another male that was, I would say it's more was like a lime rubber, and it was really neat. I took some pollen from that, and then I had another male from the Chinese lizard wine, and I I couldn't tell you what it smelled like really. It's odd, like you say, but so basically, I just spent maybe a year and a half collecting males because I didn't have a female yet. But then I had this last plant from you. It was kind of a dwarf plant. I almost killed it. It was in a solo cup, and it turned yellow, and it looked like maybe it was suffering from dampening off or something. But I just kept growing it, and eventually it started turning green, coming out of it, bouncing back. And I would hit it occasionally, watering, and man, it just reeked. It stunk. So I just kept it alive, kept the faith in it. But that's the one I'm flowering out now. That's the one you've seen pictures of. It's only in maybe week 6 or 7, is what I would say. But it's definitely a skunk. But the thing is it didn't smell like skunk at first. It smelled like I've smelled this on a few plants. It's like a leathery, it smells like almost like if you open up a new box of shoes or something. If you ever got a brand new pair of Nikes and you take a big whiff of that, that's kind of what
Yeah.
it smells like a real extreme like that. And that's what it smelled like pretty much all the way up until maybe a week ago. I went to defoliate it because it had some fan leaves blocking some bud sites. So I always take off any fan leaves facing inward, maybe at the last, maybe 4 weeks in, I'll take those off. So I was taking them off, and man, my hands were just glued together. I mean, just from popping off the leaves. And I smelled it, and I was like, oh my God, that is the skunkiest, like funkiest, skunkiest. And it's like a skunk, but I don't smell any sweet. I don't smell any gas. I don't smell any. It's like just a hard skunk with I want to say like maybe a soury hint to it. But I mean that's what I get.
Okay. Which pack that you grow out these seeds from?
You got me the med. I bought the med pack, and I bought the Chinese lizard one, I do believe. But the med pack
Okay.
is where
Very
I'm growing
cool.
the skunk.
Very cool. So you've been growing. pretty much just the Medipack. I renamed that, bro. You obviously bought in early, but I've renamed that since to Tip Town Tickets 2.0 because it's kind of what I should have called it anyway for some continuity. And it is kind of like what the original Tip Town Tickets was anyway, that which was like a mixed pack of skunks, hazes, and heirlooms and hybrids of.
Yeah.
But there was like 60 mothers that got pollinated by the one classic skunk male. And this time round, what is in the Tip Town Tickets 2.0 is like about 20 varieties that I made and put in the one pack together because
Yeah.
it was like too much choice for people to kind of handle. And it's just much better to give people the opportunity to experience a range of really nice things too. So fucking hell, you popped 10 and got 9 males.
Yes, and the only reason I kept the faith is they were beautiful males. I mean, they had vigorous growth, healthy, could handle tons of light. Yeah, and they stunk, and they were unusual. You know, I could have one that looked kind of blueberry sativa, then I'd have one that looked like a real bright lime, and just a different. I mean, different but in good ways. You know.
Well, there's a few. Well, you'll find, as I say, quite a range because there's 20 different varieties. There's a lot of eucalyptus. Have you got any more of those seeds? You must surely. I must have sent them off
I
in
have
town.
tons of them. That's the thing. Like I've only hunted through 10 of probably 50 seeds you sent me, and I haven't got a Chinese lizard wine female yet either. I haven't.
Oh wow! How many of those did you pop?
I've probably popped maybe 3 or 4. I think.
All right. Well, you got all your females to come then.
Hey,
Let's.
quick question, brother. Are you planting these plants around other female plants?
Am I planting them around other females?
Yeah, or are you going from zero?
I guess. What are you saying?
As in, like, are there other female expressions or clones around when you plant these seeds?
Um, I mean, yeah, I grow different varieties. I've
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because a weird thing that I've noticed is like, I don't know, whenever I plant seeds and I have absolutely nothing in the tent, I always get like a 50-50 spread. If I already have females while I'm planting, I'll get more males.
Yeah, maybe
It's
that's
the
what. I'm
weirdest
usually
thing.
always flowering females in the same room that I'm planting. So that makes sense. And maybe it's the heat too. You know, I don't know because I'm usually
Yeah, I
always
don't know. Maybe
flowering the
some
same room
plant
I'm vegetating.
signaling shit. I don't fucking know.
Well, I'm doing it all in the same room, so I can't really set up the environment for veg and for flower. It's kind of in the mid. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. No, yeah, that's
that
fine.
could
But
induce how many males I'm getting. You know, that could be. But I don't have a problem getting males as long as they're nice because I mean you always
yeah.
Yeah, I reckon you've got a bunch of good females coming on your next run, man. I'm
yeah. Well,
positive
well,
for
this
you.
one right here is I pollinated. It's a fabulous plant. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything so resinous. That's above that. It smells like a skunk. It's resinous and it's potent. You know what I mean? Like it could smell like whatever, but it does smell skunky. But the effect is unbelievable. I mean, I've been growing the same cut of Girl Scout cookie for like 10 years. It's feminized seed, but it's the same plant, and it's what I would consider good weed, and it's just nowhere near as potent. It's just, I mean, that's really it. That's what really impressed me. It was smelling skunky, and I really wasn't that impressed with you. But then once I smoked a little bit of it, I messaged the other night, and it's in a different class. But
Yeah,
I've grown a lot of Humboldt seed stuff. Like what I had before this was Humboldt mixed nut, which is like peanut butter breath times pistachio, and it's strong stuff. But if you smoke it, it'll just put you to sleep. I mean, if that's what you need, if you need to get to sleep, and it's pretty weed. I mean, beautiful stuff. It has reds going through the bottom of the veins. It turns almost black. It's beautiful stuff, but it's just not like this. It's not as uplifting and euphoric. You know,
no.
it's what I've been searching through and a lot of other stuff that I can't find.
Well,
mm,
I say keep popping those tips out. Well, the rest of your Medipack because I've been smoking quite a lot of flowers that came from that same pack, but obviously no two packs are the same because they're a mix of 20 varieties. So it's what's drawn out the bag at the time, as it were, you know.
Yeah.
It's on God's hands in that regard. But I've had some very, very, very nice sort of energizing, motivating, spiritual highs that have definitely made me more prayerful and like when
Yeah,
wanting to be out in nature and just like appreciating everything a lot more. Just improving life, really. Much.
yeah, and well, I feel like that's how everything used to be like 20, 30 years ago. I mean, I started smoking young, and it just seemed like you would smoke and then you go ride four wheelers or you go ride bikes or you go down the skate park or go play pool all night. It wasn't you never smoked and then like you're just so tired you didn't want to get off the couch. And I feel like just like you say, this is what kind of made me resonate with your guys' story is it's just everything you smoke now, it just seems to like just kill your motivation.
Yeah, it's just same effect over and over again.
Yeah, the
Homogenous
THC,
bullshit.
THC is so high, and this is something else I wanted to mention to you guys. My favorite strain before I had this plant, because this is my new favorite. I'll just tell you, but there's a strain called Rainbow Kush, and I think it's just a bullshit name, but what makes it special is it has dance hall in it, which dance hall is a 15% CBD. That's a 1 to 1 15%, and it's mixed with
Yeah.
blueberry. And that strain is like diet what yours is. Like you smoke that, and it's real uplifting, real body feeling good. It's just happy that it's like that, and I feel like it's because of the CBD, and it's not, you know what I mean, that there's something special. It's like whatever they've done to push the THC and to drive the numbers up for sales or whatever it's run that something special, and I don't know what it is, but I know that there's better weed out there, way better, and you guys have what I would consider what people are looking for, resinous, strong, potent medicine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And that's why I'd never consider and never have and never will introduce anything into my old timer one gene pool.
Yeah, I
It's,
don't blame you. It
it's
would
just
scare me to do it too because it's so unpredictable. Even breeding too, from what I've seen, you
and
never
what
know.
what is out there once you've grown a few more, because you've got a lot more to discover, trust me. Once
Mhm.
you've experienced that gene pool, on a wider spectrum, you'll understand like there's nothing out there that is going to improve what I've got. There's nothing going
Yeah,
to add to it in any way. It's only going to be the opposite way.
yeah. You
uh,
can't put another spoiler on a Ferrari, and you know what I mean. slap a set of 20s and on a Ferrari.
no,
Some
and
things look the way
you're
they're supposed
just
to do, and they are the way they're supposed to, and you really shouldn't mess with it.
yeah, and you're just describing what everybody finds. Resinous plants with just
Yeah,
really beautiful highs and aromas that are just absent in modern cannabis. And effects, most importantly, the effects.
yeah. The effects, because I mean, dude, I remember when I was younger, I would smoke all night with my buddies, and sometimes I'd wake up in the morning and still feel high, or wake up in the middle of the night and just be still fucking high. You know what I mean? And people's like, "Oh, it's your tolerance." It's like I smoked every day back then, every
Yeah,
day, three, four
yeah.
times a day. Like you can say whatever you want, but you know,
That is exactly how I've been recently with one of the last things that Credence Craft sent me because, as I say, he's grown quite a few of my plants last year, and he's
yeah.
grown even a lot more this year, thank God, which would be great to go through and see. But the stuff he grew last year, the last bit he sent me was a 6 month cure basically, and
Dang.
the potency was so fucking much stronger than what it was say 3 months ago.
Yeah.
It was nice 3 months ago, and it was just perfectly acceptable. But once it's hit that 6 month mark, it was so markedly more potent. It was unbelievable. It's like you said, wake up the next day, and it just kind of felt like he was just kind of almost topping up from you know
Yeah. Yeah, it's
these.
it's I mean, that's what I remember as a kid, and then it just seemed like well, all my buddies back who used to smoke got all involved with painkillers. I mean, to tell you the honest, and then I think of that few years, cannabis had some really sour years where everybody in the United States was all on painkillers in the 2000s. To tell
Yeah.
you the truth, everybody, and it's only because you couldn't get weed. There's a bunch of guys that wanted to smoke weed and wanted to do that, but had to turn to painkillers.
Yeah, it's tragedy, really.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you throw that on top of people just do things for money, and then you end up where we are. You know.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't seem like. Well, I'm absolutely sure they only legalized weed when they bred everything good out of it.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, because you don't want people getting 4 to 6 to 8 hour highs. You want them high for an hour, and then you want them hitting their shit again. And that, you know what I mean? You don't want to sell them strongly. You want to tell them,
it's-
hey, this is recreational and this is medical. And how can something that makes you feel good not be medicine? It's just recreational. Okay, whatever. I don't.
yeah, it is exactly that. And they sell you like the bullshit lie that even clowns like Kevin Jodrey would peddle when he had his dispensary out of Wonderland Nursery. He was
Yeah,
going, I remember seeing a video, he was saying, oh, people would rather buy something that's like 28% or 30% THC, because if they've only got like $20 to spend a week or whatever, then they want the most bang for their buck, the longer lasting, the best strength kind of thing,
yeah,
and so that they'll buy a high THC. And that is just such bullshit.
yeah.
And he either knows it's bullshit and he's just deliberately lying, or he's just full of shit because he makes out he's some great expert. Yet, as you've just said, there are 4 to 6 hour highs to be had, not
Yeah.
these absolute, what, 20 minutes of boredom. That's what I see
Well,
most of these modern varieties as.
well, and a lot of them, I mean, you can get really high, like stoned on them, but it comes at the cost of like just having no energy and no drive. Is that really worth it? I mean, yeah, you're stoned, but you can't move off your couch.
Well, I would be almost this in person. I'd always be happy if it was that, but I just don't even get that these days
Yeah.
of anything outside the old time one gene pool.
Well, I don't
There's
get
just like no
anything.
potency.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Mild, bland, mediocre, fucking boring. That's it,
Yeah,
in
it
my
really
experience.
is. And everything is like everything has the cookie smell to it, like just a little bit. It might smell fruity, but then you hit it and you're like, oh, okay, there's the cookies flavor.
And it
Yeah.
is completely genetics because I've seen it recently where I've had flowers from, as I say, Credence Craft grew a load of my stuff. He grew a little of other things alongside from other breeders.
Hmm.
He sent me flowers from both, identical conditions they were grown in, identical inputs, but the effects are like vastly fucking different.
Yeah.
Vastly different.
I mean, I don't know. This Some of the stuff I have is pretty potent, but it's unstable. It's hard to get it to do what you want. It's like that mixed nut from Humboldt will herm if let's say there's a 10-degree swing, it'll herm. Uh, but I mean, for me, it's potent, but like I said, it's not. It's just like there's sleepy weed to me, and then there's weed that gets you really high and feeling high, not low. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they classify it as like sativa or indica, but I just think it's like I've seen skinny leaf plants that'll make you really tired and sleepy, and I've seen fat leaf plants that will uplift you, but I can't say why it is or what it is. People, I know the science of the
Well,
plants
there's,
kind of
al-
killed the plant, in my opinion. Like science is like they test for just a specific things. They have no idea really what's in it, what's it, what you can do with it. Let's put it in a
there's
hole.
also plants that do both.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
I've seen
also
parts
plants
of
that do
plants
both.
that look
You can,
different. I've seen parts of the plant be
I've
outside the
smoked
light
plenty of
look different.
stuff. I've smoked plenty of stuff that was like really uplifting for the first half hour and then suddenly become real sedative.
Yeah, that's true.
That's,
I don't know. Like I remember in high school, I
so
would smoke stuff that would make you puke. You know what I mean? Like literally, people are like, oh no, it's an anti. It's. I used to hear this whole thing like, oh, it may, if you're drinking, it's like an anti, like settles your stomach. Well, I've smoked it where literally like your head hits the back of a seat, you can't lift your head, and then once you get to moving, you're puking. You know what I mean? Well, it's
so
rare,
was,
but I've
was that,
smoked it like
I
that.
was gonna ask you, was that the first time you've grown seeds for me, this 10?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, I have. 210s. I like 2x4s, but that's grown in a little short 2x4. And I tell you what, I didn't have to train that plant much. Real easy to grow, and
And
stayed short too. I mean, for being thin leaf, stayed pretty short.
that Chinese lizard wine, did you say you only got a male with that one?
Yeah, I only got a male.
Okay, so are you going to be popping any more soon?
I will. I'm basically what sucks is I think I'm gonna kill off what I'm growing just because I don't even care about it. Like I got a clone of that mixed nut, and I got some Colorado Kim, which I got from Bag Seed, but I'm probably just gonna see it later because I don't. It's a waste of time. I do have one thing I'm going to grow with it that's from Crockett Farms. They just did a big Buddha cheese, bunch of big Buddha cheese crosses, and they got them right from Buddha from his own stock. So, but I mean that's just for curiosity. I mean for $50, might as well see what's in there. I got a couple of those growing. There's some nice looking stuff, but who knows if it's going to be as good as your stuff far as smoking that, you know what I mean? Who knows?
Well, I won't put money on it.
I wouldn't either. I believe me, I bought them before I smoked this, and now I'm like, oh, I should have just stopped right there. But it's all curiosity. So I mean, that's what I did in the first place. Is I wanted to satisfy my curiosity. I've spent a lot of money in Michigan buying ounces, and I've smoked a lot of shit, and it was a huge disappointment.
So did you say you have actually smoked this skunk? Yeah,
Yeah, I just did right before you called before I came up here.
cool. And how do you find it?
It's just fantastic. It's 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 like it's a mood enhancer, that's all I can say. It's a mood enhancer,
Yeah.
and like I'm smoking lower nugs right now because most people are really picky and they don't touch their plants, whatever. But it doesn't hurt to take a couple lower nugs off and dry them real quick. It won't even slow your plant down. I don't notice it personally, as long as you don't take a bunch. But I'm just smoking lower stuff and then throwing it in my microwave and speed drying it, and it's better than the mixed nut that I grew out. That's top nugs and the most beautiful. I mean, this shit that I really, if I could send you a picture of this mixed nut, you'd be like, "Wow, that's some pretty shit." Even though it's not strong, it's pretty. You know what I mean? It's a flower, but I would say your stuff is medicine, versus pretty flowers. You know?
Yeah, man. Well, once you get to try some that's been uh, dried and
Yeah, I'm
cured a
sure
little
it'll be a
while,
lot different. Yeah.
it'd be even nicer. But
But I mean,
yeah,
honestly, I know that sounds brutal, like doing that, but a lot of times when you microwave something, the terps get like vaped right in your face, and you can kind of get I mean, I know it sounds terrible, but it does. Like your whole microwave will smell like whatever the terps are. That right when you open, just smack you in the face.
Honestly, I respect it.
I learned that from Snoop Dogg. He threw a joint in a microwave one time to dry it. Because I was like, well, that's got to work for the other way around.
Yeah, no, yeah, I remember that, bro. Yeah, that was like some
Yeah.
2015 shit.
Yeah. He licked it, and he's like, I gotta wait to smoke. He's like, no, you don't. He throws it in the microwave.
I'm sure I have speed dried in the
Yeah.
past. I know I have. I'm just trying to think exactly when it was, but like a long time ago. But anyway, if you get faced with the option of nothing to smoke or something
Yeah,
to smoke, you give a fuck. You go for
that's
something to
how I look
smoke.
at it. Absolutely. And well, and the thing is too is like I was telling you earlier, this plant's not even done either. I mean, it's still putting on weight. I would say it's got several weeks left because the nug pictures I was shooting, they're gonna fill all the way out. It's gonna be one big nug, and then what's impressive is that the lower growth looks so nice. So many plants, the lower growth is just spindly garbage that you just want to throw it away. But the stuff your stuff is still sticky and looks nice.
Yeah, it's good top to bottom, basically, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
there's some
Strong
plants that do
structures.
that. That even the nugs that are in the dark will get hard, and it's not all plants do that.
Well, I hope next time, when are you going to pop some next?
Probably after I harvest this, have another round going. But I'm gonna try to get you. I'm not gonna. I can't send too many pictures, but I'm gonna send you some more once this plant
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
fills out because it'll look a lot more impressive. Because I mean, and I'm taking those pictures with my lights like full on and like moving and wind hitting them. But I'll get you some better pictures. I'm sure it'll look much cooler because the plant that it's next to, I got it right next to a Girl Scout cookie plant, and that plant looks insane. But it's crazy how good it looks. But it'll fool you. It's your eyes lying to you. You know what I mean? I swear to you, that plant's chunky. I mean, it's got nugs on it the size of a pop bottle. You know, but you could probably smoke that whole entire nug and not get as high as just a couple tiny ones off yours.
Yeah, probably, man. I'm
It's
not a
sad. I
fan.
mean, it's sad. That plant smells good too. It smells like strawberries and cream. I mean, it's a beautiful smelling plant. It'd be better to take that and roll it up together with something. You know what I mean? Just for like a cigar effect or something.
Well, I hope next time you pop them that you get a higher number of females.
Well, that's still not bad. I mean, considering like he said, I am popping them in kind of a hot climate, and even on other seed lines that make sense. That sometimes your
No,
climate.
I think it's just luck of the draw, man. You just had a bad fucking
I could be like that
shaking
other
stick,
guy that
man.
you remember Flora Farms who killed his whole grow and everything and blamed you for all this shit and grew out like two plants.
Oh, that I'm not even talking about that fucking cock.
I seen him on a podcast. I was like, "Whoa, this guy's back."
He's a full of shit wanker, so just
He
fuck
got me
that
banned off
guy.
YouTube for putting a comment. I couldn't comment for like 60 days.
He's just a fucking little dweeb, man. Fuck that guy.
Well,
Bro, he's an
all those
autoflower
guys,
champion, Blue. Put some respect on his name, bro. He's
yeah,
an
yeah.
autoflower world champion. Never forget it, Blue.
He reported me for bullying, harassing, and got me banned off YouTube for the longest time.
I forgot about that dweeb. I had to think about it for a split second
I
when you
totally
fucking
forgot
mentioned
about
his
him. He was
name.
on James Loud talking bullshit. I thought, who would give this guy a mic? Who would talk to this guy? Blaming somebody.
Listen, the entire industry is just a fucking dweeb fest, you know?
Well, you got Jodry that said, I'm bringing back Skunk 7 years ago, and here we are, 7 years later, and he's still Skunk.
Jodry's a straight fed. We got an episode coming up on Jodry soon. My talks with AI about Jodry.
That guy's
And
wasted so much of my time. I've listened to
A-
hours and hours of that guy talk about
AI
nothing.
sees right through him, like everybody should. It's just we live in the stupidest period of humanity.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
everybody's a
everybody's heads
fucking
underwater.
dummy. So they believe anything. But anyway, fuck it. That's why I don't even bother much on Instagram at the minute, man.
Yeah, and I couldn't even find you there for a while. I was like, I'd followed a bunch of your accounts, but then there for a while, I mean, it was hard to find any of them.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm on like my 92nd or 93rd now, and it's because that's the only thing they can do is snitch. But it's become boring to me anyway, pretty much, you know. So I've
I'm
just,
sure. I mean, it probably gets way old.
it's just not the best use of my time. There's plenty of other things I could do with my genetics. I just feel now, after I've reached the point of what's this, like 5 or 6 years on Instagram, I've
Yeah,
pretty
you
much
gave everybody a fair shake. I mean,
exactly right. Yeah, man.
dude, you
It's
sold
like
me those seeds for $50. I mean, come on.
I used to care a lot about.
That's such a generous. You sell your stuff cheap. You know,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous that anybody'd have a beef with you, and they don't care if people breed with your stuff.
and they don't have a beef. They're just fucking jealous idiots. You know what I mean? They've got no
Yeah.
beef. They're just fucking morons and jealous idiots.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Gabby Garden Spout?
No,
No, they call him Long
what's he
Island
called?
sometimes too. Gabby Garden Spout.
No, definitely not heard of that guy.
Well, he never wanted to be in the public, but uh, I don't know. He's similar to you. Like he had the '91 sour, and he said he had cut a super skunk in the early '90s, but he got popped, and he lost his stuff. And then when he asked for his stuff back, he didn't get it. But I think you'd like him. He's JJ's from Top Dog is the one that did it to him.
Well,
And that,
JJ is just a fucking scumbag, so it doesn't surprise me.
I can't believe that guy. I just the dude gave him the '91 sour and super skunk. The dude got popped, asked for the stuff back, and he said no.
I could totally believe that. JJ is literally scum of the earth.
Yeah,
He is,
I told him
unfortunately.
about you. I told this guy about you, and he's like, that sounds exactly like, he's just a liar, man.
Uh, that is one guy you would not let trust babysit, you know?
No, no, he's got a habit of going to. He has a habit of saying he has all these genetics and that he doesn't want any new genetics and Kim Dog's the best. But then he travels to Thailand. Why would you go to Thailand unless you're going for genetics? What else would you be going there for?
Lady boys.
There you go.
No, he literally has been there for lady boys. I know
No, that's
somebody who lives in
disgusting.
Thailand and spent time with him in Thailand and said that's what he was up to.
Well, and that makes sense because, like I said, he claims to have all these old school genetics that he wants to sell and make money off that he's gotten from other people. And then he goes to Thailand and says he's going there for genetics. But wait a second, he's not selling any Thai genetics. He's not saying, "Oh, look what I discovered," or making a video out of, or making any money out of it, or anything. So what are you doing over there?
Visiting transsexual brothels.
Going to hell.
Yeah, and then when he's not in ladyboy brothels, he's spending the rest of his spare time in people's DMs trying to convince them that the skunk that they've been posting for months on end that's in their rooms growing is not really skunk.
Yeah.
He's a fucking weirdo, man.
Yeah, I don't know why you would do that. It's probably because you it's probably because you believe in nothing and you think all there is money and power and you'll do anything to get it.
He's just like a lot of other people out there.
Yeah. Well, and it's the same way like the Humboldt genetics too, selling 3 seeds for $80, and if you have any kind of temperature swing, now your whole crop seeded out. Then they go around making these videos, acting like they're the kings of cannabis and stuff.
They're a bunch of pricks. If it's the
Yeah,
same,
if you can't see through it, you don't have eyes. I mean, I did. That's why I seeked out you and I seeked out these smaller podcasts because, I mean, it's just obvious. Like the Ganjier, you can go out there and give them thousands of dollars and then and have still have no idea what good weed is.
Kevin Jodrey is a straight gatekeeping fed, and
Yeah.
he's
Well, they do
gonna.
these videos where they promote that Ganjier and they put on these thousands of dollar outfits with these big, puffy coats, and they walk these slow mos through these fields where they got irrigation, and they're growing plants not in the ground but in bag soil, and claiming how this terroir and all this crap. It's like, if you can't see through that, they're guys in high school that weren't popular. They didn't have any friends, and now that they're older, they're trying to get a piece of that what they never had. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
They all got long hair. One of them's a swami, a white guy who's a swami.
yeah, Mr. Dot on his head. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sitting there, I smoke 50 joints a day. Well, you must have really bad weed,
yeah.
bro. It's like, no, it's like, well, that's the thing too. Like, I don't even smoke that much, man. I smoke, when I have time, I get my work done before it, and I don't promote it as some sort of, if you need it, you need it. But it's like it shouldn't be glamorized the way these guys do it. The way they film themselves smoking weed is even just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like being 50 years old and wearing a big like you're in the band The Doors jacket, and you're puffing this joint. Somebody's filming. Like, come on, man! Like,
They're really fucking cringy.
Nah, it's just cringe.
it is.
Anyone that
It's
actually knows how to grow weed sees through that shit.
exactly, and that's
This
why
is for
I've sucked you.
the fuck.
That's why I looked for you guys. I looked for, where's the real guys? Where's the real guys? You know what I mean? This can't be it. Like I just
Yeah.
look back in the day and it was all real stand up dudes. It wasn't like this.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear like that coming from somebody over there because I just sort of sit, I like look at that whole community and I just think like these are a
Who would
bunch of
sell you
fucking
AC
dweebs.
Infinity?
They
Sell you
they
this, sell
couldn't
you that.
they couldn't last over here. Like I just think like how is this possible that they're doing anything in America? It's only must surely be because it's fucking legal. So I'm like,
It
these
is.
people are just straight dweebs that could not like come and do anything over here, I'm sure. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like they're so cringy. They couldn't hang out with any fucker I know. They just could not move in my circles over here. They would just be like looked at as dweebs, you know?
Yeah, that I exactly know. Like, you just stuffed Kevin Judgery in a locker in high school. I mean, I hate to say it, bro. Like, I don't know. I just, it's sad the way it is. It's sad that everybody's trying to sell you an oscillating fan and a $500 tent, and they want to sell you a light every year that does the same thing. It's just gross, bro.
No,
It don't cost much to grow good smoke. You can buy the cheapest stuff and produce quality.
Well, I was looking at
yeah,
something recently because I was thinking about doing something in the UK, and I was looking at the price of equipment now because it's been a fucking while since I've done indoor in the UK. And man, I was like, are people fucking retarded or what? There's there's £1,000 fucking LED light, a 600-watt LED light for £1,000, or for 35 fucking pound, a 600-watt HPS. I'm like, what the fuck is going
yeah,
on in
that's a
this world?
no-brainer.
You fucking spastics. Who would do that? But clearly
Yeah,
people are. I'm like, this is fucking insane.
you're getting
Because what
fleeced.
it's just mental.
Well, I grow on a 150-watt quantum board, two of them in a 2x4, and I can grow pounds. And I run them about 70%, and they grow beautiful weed. You know what I mean? And they're the cheapest LED light you can get.
Yeah, fuck LEDs, man. I'm staying with HPS and
Well,
that.
and I get what you're saying, but just for heat issues and and where I'm at, it's that's the only reason I do it. And I already had them, there was what I started out with, but I
Yeah.
do understand it. Like I had a buddy, who inspired me to try to do it and start growing was I had a guy who grew massive. He had a 1,000-watt HPS in a trailer, and the whole bathroom in his trailer was his grow room, and he had a blurple light, 1,000-watt HPS, and a bunch of LEDs on the side, and he was growing in. He had dirt inside of a hot tub bathtub, and he's growing this massive
Sheesh.
plant, bro. And I'm telling you, the plant was healthy. He grew pounds off one plant. But dude, it stank. You know what I mean? You could smell it
Yeah,
a mile
yeah,
away.
I just prefer HPS grown flower, man. I prefer how it looks.
Yeah.
I prefer the resin production. I prefer the highs. I
Well, I'm
just think,
sure. I'm sure. I mean, it's more sunlight. It's hot. It's.
yeah.
I'm sure that's the truth. I mean, the guy that I was buying my weed off before I started growing was HPS, and his stuff was always fire, always good. You know.
yeah. I had a really good experiences buying a CMH weed.
Hmm.
CMH is good. I like CMH.
There's probably a reason they're trying to get rid of them. I mean,
Oh,
anything good.
definitely. If you look into the spectrum, if you just like type in Google, I guess, like dangers of the LED spectrum, like the flicker rate of it, and
Yeah,
it's not good for fucking anything really or anyone. So
yeah, I know. You know, I my stuff is away from me, and you know what I mean. But I probably wouldn't want that shit in my bedroom with me.
no.
It's literally radiation.
Well, that skunk you found sounds like it's a keeper, bro.
Yeah, and like I said, I pollinated it. The very first plant I grew out of yours was a big male, and it smelled like a Thanksgiving dinner when you rubbed it, and it was branchy and robust, and like I had the LED light on 50% just crammed on it, and it didn't burn, it didn't act weird, because they're trying to keep it short and just take cuts off of it. And a lot of people, I'll give you a tip if you're wanting to do a small breeding project and you're like me and you have to keep stuff quiet and you can't do it out in the open, take a cut off a male and put it in your window in a cup of water and it will flower in your window, and then just take pollen and keep it in your refrigerator. It'll stay good for 6 months to a year. And then just get it
Yeah.
out and dust it
Yeah,
on the plant that you think is worth dusting, and then you'll have some seed, and it might not be exactly what you want, but you'll at least have, the genetics there preserved.
So have you got
yeah.
any sort of way of describing the Chinese lizard wine at all? Or is it completely beyond your capabilities? Because I've been
I've
there.
I've had one other plant smell like it, and it's almost like at first you don't like it, but it's only because it seems so like it's like an alien smell, man. It's like I want to say it hints to a like a lime, but not but different. But I find a lot of stuff doesn't smell the same in veg as if I were to flower it out, like
Oh, definitely, definitely, man.
that skunk, you would never think it was a skunk because it didn't smell like skunk until about week 6. It really
Yeah,
didn't. Like, it was like I said, like new shoes. If you've opened up brand new Nike shoes or like suede, that
yeah.
type of smell,
Yeah.
you know, it was good, but it just didn't. I would have never said, "Hey, that's going to be skunk in a week or two." Never.
Yeah, I've seen that,
Yeah.
man. It's how I first discovered the skunks, really. Like, the very first skunks I discovered, or at least the most potent of them, the loudest ones, I didn't
Yeah.
really discover till the end of harvest. And I put it down to the fact I didn't pay enough fucking attention to them whilst they were growing. But I think they did actually show later in flower, like you say. And other people have had that where 4 weeks into flower, they didn't really smell of skunk, and then in that fourth week, going into fifth or whatever, they changed and smelled real skunky. And then you get things that are skunk from like 14 days of veg. They're just all different.
Mhm.
And
I
some will
mean,
treat.
there's a lot of plants out there too. You rub and they smell minty, and you're like, okay, and then they don't smell anything like that when you start to flower them. It's hit and miss, and you have to really have some faith with plants and ride them out. I think that's a lot of the problem too is people they want the guaranteed but sometimes there's better. You gotta have some faith. That's
Well,
what I
the
do. Is
rest of those,
I just keep
the
the faith.
rest of, sorry, bro, go on.
No, no, sorry, I'm all coffeeed up. Go ahead, Blue.
I was just going to say the rest of those town tickets, or the Medipack as it was called when you got it, you're going to probably find, a range of different stuff in there that's just different,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of eucalyptus, skunk, and it's when you said
I don't
mint,
even
it
know what
reminded me.
eucalyptus smells like.
You don't?
No.
Have you ever had like Vicks Vapor Rub or?
Okay, yes, yes, I do. That's what I would consider is like the mint you smell on stem rubs sometimes. That's what I would
Yeah,
consider.
yeah. I was gonna say that's why I've started to say 'cause mint and eucalyptus are in that kind of same ballpark, of terms.
Mhm.
So you find some are proper mint, straight mint, and then some that's I'd say in that area, that field, you've got pine, you've got mint, you've got
Yeah.
eucalyptus, um, and yeah, you've got like the extreme sort of eucalyptus. It's like the Vicks Vapor Rub or the inhaler thing.
I'll have to look out for that. That would be nice. I find blueberry smells like that a lot. Like the old DJ Short blueberry. If you rub the stem, it's got that Vicks
Well, you'll
smell.
find blueberry in there too, because there's some blueberry skunk I put in there.
Yeah.
Um, there's some eucalyptus and vomit, one that I called koala puke that is in there. There's a meat skunk, a citrus skunk. There's a couple of different hazes.
Yeah.
There's a frankincense haze.
What does haze smell like? Everybody says haze, but that was before my time. I have no. What does haze smell like?
Well, for me, it's one of those ones you kind of have to sort of smell to
No.
know. It's its own distinct thing. People say like, oh, incense and spicy leather and various things, but like amnesia haze is super distinct, and I found
Mhm.
that come up. So I guess that amnesia haze is could be a typical profile.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess more of like the stuff that you'd consider incensey,
Hmm.
spicy tip profiles than
Okay. Okay. Then
it's
I
not.
agree
It's
with
not
you.
so. You wouldn't say sweet. You wouldn't say it was foul or anything like that. It's not in that category. It's not really mm, floral as such.
Hmm.
It's I don't know. It's like it's like cheese is cheese and skunk is skunk. It's got its own distinctive sort of thing. Haze is haze.
Yeah.
But
That's
if
it.
you
OG has its own thing.
yeah, but if you had to like have some descriptor put on it, like it is more in that kind of incense and frankincense and
Okay. I hear
Would you
people
say
talk
a
about
white
it. They
widow is
never.
a good example of haze, blue,
what's that?
of
What's
like
that,
the
bro?
traditional haze smell?
Which one?
White widow.
No, not really. Not really. White Widows. No, it's White Widow's not really like what I'd call a haze now. Not as such.
What do you think's a great example of it? Or even out of your packs. Like what phenos?
Well, there's a lot of, as I say, I put in the Town Ticket 2.0, the Medipack. I put the Lime Piss Haze. I put some Pickled
Yeah.
Onion Cat Piss Haze. I put Frankincense Haze, Eucalyptus Haze. So, yeah, I guess that's what most people would say if you're asking about haze. They say like frankincense type smell. That's like
Okay.
stereotypical. But
Hmm.
for me, it's just like its own fucking thing. So you'd have to like get some haze and then know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, it makes
well,
sense.
it's like Romulan has like that pine thing going on, and if you've never smelled it, like it's real distinct. Like I know exactly what you're. It's its own thing. You just gotta experience it. But it's like so many people will say it on a podcast, and then some
Like
people,
Jack Herrera as well
yeah,
has its own smell.
yeah, that anise. But I don't know. I hear or like they'll say sour, like it's not like the sour I remember, but then they'll say nothing about what that means. And you're like,
Yeah.
how can I relate
No,
to
that's
that?
bullshit, bro. A lot of those sour heads are bullshit.
Yeah, I hear that. That's the new thing I hear in all these new podcasts, like the popular ones is, man, I just sour ain't around no more, ain't like it used to be, not like I remember. And then they don't say anything about what that is, what that entails.
Yeah.
It's like, so I know you got to be talking shit.
Well, I pretty much like thought the amnesia profile must be one of the profiles that's
Well, I've heard
prevalent.
amnesia is just haze, that somebody renamed it, that that's just haze.
I forget the exact origin story now. I know the famous cut from Amsterdam was called the High Pro cut.
Yeah.
Uh, there was absolutely loads of amnesia flooding the UK for a long time in terms of
We have
flower
like
that was
nothing over here,
imported.
man.
Bro, amnesia was like all I smoked even in 2016, Blue. Like it
Well, you
made
had
its
it
way over
heavy in
here, bro.
America too.
Yes, it made its way at least to Miami. It made its way over here, bro. That shit
Well, we
was like
had it,
the
just
only
not
thing that
recently.
people were pumping
Yeah, we
over
had it
here.
before that. We had it like in the what I
Or
suppose
like,
the late 2000s, like into 2012 and all that, before 2016 for sure, all that, well, for much before. But yeah, for a time, it's like all you got in the UK was fucking cheese or amnesia. That was it. It was cheese or amnesia. That was like, if you're buying sort of commercial, if you went a grower or you didn't know growers, if you're just like buying, most of the thing that was on the street was cheese or amnesia. And it was because that's all fucking anybody wanted. It's crazy. It's like, that's all they wanted, cheese or amnesia. And,
I remember I seen a documentary probably 10 years ago about UK where they were spraying glass on stuff and
oh yeah, that
and
happened.
some
yeah, we've
wild,
talked about that.
Yeah,
bro.
that happens. That
UK
was the
is messed
Dutch
up.
doing that. It wasn't it was shit they imported into the UK, but it was the Dutch actually doing spraying.
I believe that.
Yeah, man, it was. I don't. I mean, there might have been some people doing sprays, crushed glass, but it wasn't that. It was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was just some fucking kind of adulterant that they concocted to. It was certainly like some real fucked up chemical shit they were spraying on there. It was nothing we could
Well, they
call
heard they were calling
natural.
something like green crack, like the kids are buying like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but it wasn't like the strain green crack. It was like sprayed weed.
That might have been like that spice thing. You guys got spice over there.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
K2, yeah.
Personally,
yeah, K2 is what they call it. Like one name's over here. So green crack would probably be another like a K2 spice type thing, I reckon.
yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, but the sprayed weed was literally they were spraying like I don't know. They were doing it different ways. It was definitely different ways. Some of it was being sprayed while the plant was growing on the flower. Well, the first I remember exactly how it started. The first thing that ever started it off was a product called Bricks that was fucking sold in the head in grow shops in the UK, and it was a sugar solution. So you chop your flour, and you would like run a bath of water and put this bricks in it, and dip your whole harvest in that, and I guess it would just absorb or take on the weight of the sugars, and so you'd get like about 30% extra weight. And people were doing that, and that was the first type of one. But then people were literally spraying some nasty fucking shit on it that was making the. You got it to like different levels. Some would be like barely sprayed, some would be like heavily contaminated, and it'd be like rock hard. The flowers be rock hard. They be really hard. You could barely fucking grind them in a grinder. When people smoked them, like the end of the joint would be rock hard, like glass almost. It tasted fucking disgusting. So yeah, there was about a period, I think, probably about 2 years, where the Dutch were doing that, and there was like a lot of it in the UK. So it's bad times.
I don't know, man. The thing is like too is like the U.S. is represented so bad, but like the normal guy is not what you see, you know.
Well, now you guys got sprayed, but it's different. It's like spray tips, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
that would
Yeah. Spray tips.
that would have been like the ethical kind of spraying that we should have gone on. But the Dutch literally gave us some like nasty chemical shit, and probably some of it. What? Oh, apparently, like some of it was like iron filings. People were taking fucking magnets to deals to fucking check
Oh
shit out.
God.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they do up here
Yeah,
is
that shit's disgusting.
well here you can go to Michigan, and I'm not from Michigan or anywhere close, but I've bought there before because I visit. But if you can go up there and you can get $40 ounces, but what they do is they take moldy weed, they'll buy it from anybody, they don't care, and you can grow there, and they throw it in a microwave, and they microwave it, and it's and then it passed the mold tests, and you can tell it's been microwaved because I microwave shit like I just told you. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is a good microwave, bro. It has no weight to it. Like it's like you could, it's like dust. You know,
Yeah.
and for $40, they'll sell you that. They'll sell you moldy microwaved weed for $40 and not tell you about it. In little bitty, sea buds, little bitty popcorn sea buds. It's like
Oh man.
Yeah,
no
no, that shit's
standard.
fucked up.
The carts, all the kids want is carts. Nobody in America smokes flower. Like all these old cats like Jodry think that, oh, if I bring skunk back, it's going to change the game. They all smoke carts. They don't care about flower.
Listen, Joji's not trying to bring skunk back. Joji's trying to hide skunk.
I
That's what
know
he's
he
been
is.
doing very successfully since
But he
2018,
doesn't.
when he's known for the fact that I've had skunk. That's
But he
all he
doesn't
does is try and
understand.
hide
It's
it.
all us old guys that smoke flower. Nobody smokes carts. I mean, nobody smokes carts. I'm sure skunk would make amazing carts, but I'm just saying, like, to act like you're
Yeah,
going to come out
yeah.
with a new flower that's going to really change the way people smoke, it would take a miracle, because over here it's the kids don't want anything that requires any time, any thinking. If you had to go buy a lighter, that's probably too difficult. Like they just want to be able to hit it, go to work, hit it all day at work, you know.
You should hit that fucking retard Jodri up, because he's still out there saying skunk doesn't exist yet. You've got some, so
I've said several things on everything. It doesn't. If you say anything to anybody on here, they get mad. They ban you. They report you. Like it's like
just email him direct. If anybody wants to email Kevin Jodri direct and tell him all about the skunks that have come out of the packs, his email is steelballin@gmail.com.
steel
Steel,
ball.
Steel, Ballin, Ballling, steelballin at gmail.com. That's Kevin Fed Jodri's fucking email address.
Did you hear that he already changed the name of their scam to sell clones and steal everybody's genetics? It went from Grateful Head, now it's X, something X. You know, the Bible literally says anything with an X in it is evil, like the number 6.
The Antichrist, yeah. X
Yes.
that's why that fucking scumbag Elon Musk changed Twitter to X.
His son's name's X.
Yeah.
People can't see it just because there's a few other letters after it. Go read a Bible. You want to know what's going on in Israel? Go read a Bible. You want to know about all these 500 million Muslims over in the Middle East are mad about? Read a Bible. You won't get it anywhere else.
100%. And
But I don't know. I'm just gonna say this. Your genetics are great. It's good smoke. If you want stuff that you can smoke flower and you don't have to go turn it into dabs and you don't have to resort to blowtorch and shit, get blue smoke.
this flower is stronger than fucking any dabs made of anything of the modern era.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm just saying it's silly. The
Yeah.
dab stuff's silly. Don't just get good flower.
I like dabs and rosin and things, but in terms of like, there is no rosin or anything that I've had made from modern era genetics that is as good as smoking old timer one era flower. No
Just
way.
flower period too. It's full spectrum. People don't understand. You're getting it's primal. Our ancestors smoked.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't vape. They didn't. They might have developed into hash or whatever, but The first guy, that ancient guy, he smoked.
But the best rosin I've had has actually been from my genetics, the country club guys in the UK. They made some strawberry skunk haze rosin, and it was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Really. So I do love
I'd love to
rosin.
try it.
I can't say I don't. But what I'm saying is, most people these days are doing rosin and all the BHO type extractions because the flower is shit.
Yeah,
And I'm saying the potency and duration of effects of my flower is far superior to what they would consider the strongest fucking extract from anything made from the modern era. Do you know what I mean? Any
yeah.
just any Skittles, gelato, cookies, Gorilla Glue, fucking whatever, runts, any of the extracts made from that is never going to be anything like my flower. Simple as that. That's certainly not like what Credence Craft has produced in the UK with hardly any sun last year.
I mean,
So
I've smoked the top stuff in Michigan too. I've bought from Loom. I've bought their best stuff that's cryo sealed in like nitrogen. I've bought their, like, I've had Jenny Kush, which was pretty good. I've had Blueberry Crumble, and none of it stacks up to your stuff. None of it. I mean, it's really eye opening. But I've tried all the top Michigan stuff, all of it.
yeah, that's why
30
I would not
days, all that
trade
shit.
with anybody, and I've never traded with anybody because, listen, I've been around 25 years doing this, and I've seen everything that's out there. I've smoked and grown and seen or know of pretty much everything that's fucking out there. I know who's got what, and I know what is out there, as I say, and none of it compares to Old Timer One. And if I didn't have the Old Timer One gene pool, nobody would know of me because there's been absolutely no chance I would be trying to make seeds in that environment where everybody is just messing with the same garbage as everybody else and just making a worse and worse job of it every fucking year. So yeah, that's basically it. If it wasn't for me having these Old Timer One genetics, nobody would ever have fucking heard of me because yeah, everybody's literally, that's what Rich said earlier, it's all the same effects. And that's what it is. I was saying that to Credence Craft, I think, the other day. It doesn't matter whose stuff it is. If it's certainly post 2010, I mean, the early 2000s, there was still some decent enough bits and bobs being put out, but definitely late 2000s to 2010 onwards, absolute went downhill to like dramatically to the point where everything is just the same. And it's just,
Well, and you say so many things too that make sense that I haven't heard anywhere else than from my own experience. Like when you talk about the old White Widow and how that stuff used to be good,
yeah,
like White Rhino was fantastic.
it
Like
was.
there was a lot of stuff like that, but it just evaporated, you know. And you're the only one that has anything that hits like that. If you're looking for that's what you have.
Shanti was like one of the few people that I, rated back in the day and now. Um, he was the last, really, of the last of the Dutch era to.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe that as well.
Widow was good. All this many was good because I've grown it. Back in the day, he sent my friend, who he was good friends with, a load of. He's just sent his entire menu. I grew it all out, and you could see his kind of hand in everything, and it was good. But he's still not as good as Old Timer One, and
No,
I'd
no,
say
because
that
no, because
if
I'm
he
an
was.
old man sitting here raving about your stuff. But I'm just
So
saying, when I was a kid, his stuff was really good. When I was a kid, I remember those were the names that stuck out. When it was wrote on the bag, I knew, okay, here we go. You know
and
what I
that
mean?
White Russian you mentioned, that was serious seeds.
Oh no, the white. I think it was
Oh, sorry, you said White Rhino,
White Rhino
and
was
then
what I
that
used
made
to
me
play.
think in my head of White Russian. Yeah, yeah, White Rhino was shanties as well, and that was I
Yeah.
actually literally had White Rhino and White Russian and other things that he physically grew himself.
Well,
Um,
the resin production reminds me of the old White Rhino, White Widow
yeah,
on the skunk, but your skunk is fattening up more. You're getting more weight.
and it'd be like more. Well, you should get more foul tips
Oh
than
yeah, yeah.
anything
Well,
shanties got.
but I'm just saying that's the only thing similar I could if somebody wanted a comparison. If you smoked in the '90s and you smoked in the
Yeah,
2000s, if you
yeah,
remember that, that was probably to me that was the last time you could get good weed.
yeah. I agree, man.
You
And I
could
was
you could
lucky. I literally did have flower that he grew himself, you know. So I got to. I've grown this stuff out, and I've literally smoked plenty of what he grew himself.
yeah
Uh, and it was good, man. It was fucking good. I just literally just think old timer one was the best, you know.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
but
it's
yeah,
just like it's just like just like
Shanty was the last of the Dutch era that was good, but after
yeah.
that went downhill.
Yeah, that's the way it seems, and it seems like that's the last time Dutch Passion was any good too.
Yeah, fucking hell, Dutch Passion, man. I grew them back in the day. Like I grew their entire fucking catalogue, whatever it was at the time. What
Decent like
era?
Holland's Hope was a good one.
2003, 2004. I would have grown whatever Dutch Passion had at that point. I would have grown the
Yeah.
whole fucking lot. What did they have? They had like Voodoo and
People still talk about their blueberry blue.
see, I
That
grew
Dutch
their
Passion
blueberry and it
blueberry
wasn't fucking
comparative
all
to
that. It's nothing like my blueberry, that's for
act.
sure. My blueberry pisses all over this.
That's funny.
Oh
Everything
yeah.
People were
blueberry now is
saying
very leafy.
people were raving about that. You're
No,
like they
that was
haven't even
just like
smoked it though.
that was like mid blueberry. That was like fucking kind of it's a little bit
What would you
blueberry,
compare it
but
to just DJ Shorts is though?
I
Like
don't know.
before the year advances.
All I ever heard about DJ Short stuff, because I can't remember. I don't think I actually did grow DJ Short's blueberry. I think I've only grown old timer ones. I've grown the Dutch Passion one.
Yeah.
But I was always put off growing DJs because back when I was growing, like starting out growing 20 odd, 25 years ago, it was considered hit and miss. Like, yeah, you'd get one maybe in a few packs that had real good blueberry flavor, but probably had a shit yield. It was always known for bad yields and bad herms, and the blueberry tip being hit and miss. Not like yeah, it's guaranteed in my
Yeah,
packs.
yeah.
You know, it's I don't know why you
Yeah.
couldn't make it guaranteed in this because old timer ones, man, it's easy to fucking breed blueberry. It's
So
pure
yeah.
blueberry. It's not like a little bit
It's-
blueberry, and it's not like 1 in 10 is blueberry. It's fucking every single one is absolute banging blueberry.
DJ's
so it's
blueberry to
more
me, I've grown blueberry a lot before. That was one of my top, and the only problem with blueberry is the it's a lot of work to get what you want out of the plant. You have to defoliate it a ton, and you got to trim a lot, and
Well,
it's
that's another thing I heard about. Oh, it's a picky plant or that kind of nonsense I'd hear. And so I was always put off buying DJs. And man,
it smells
old
like
time.
blueberry. I mean, don't get me wrong, he has the blueberry terp,
Oh,
but
definitely,
who
definitely.
wants to grow a plant that you got to defoliate 3 times in flower?
No, 1 million
I don't want to
percent.
do that.
DJ is the originator of blueberry, man. No
Yeah,
fucking question. Not
and it
saying that.
smells blue, man. When it's cured, it smells so good.
But yeah, I never personally grew it. I only grew old timer one because old timer one
But
and
it's
big
not very
guy.
strong. It's not very strong weed. I mean,
I don't know.
it's not.
Some isn't like some. It is more of what you'd call that daytime summer happy type smoke. But
Yeah.
fucking hell,
yeah,
some of it is definitely strong in that it's long lasting and it hits you behind your eyes and reds your eyes up. Some of the blueberry I've had, anyway. Believe me. Um,
I think his has too
Yeah.
much of that wide broadleaf in it. I don't know, something about it. It's a very leafy structure. It's an annoying plant to grow.
Well, I've got all different kinds of like the skunks. I've got narrowleaf skunk, broadleaf skunk, and this, that, and the other type of skunk. But with the blueberry, I've seen real blueberry haze looking expressions, then some super chunky blueberry skunk expressions. So
Yeah.
broadleaf, narrowleaf, and seen it all. But the blueberry
Well,
tips are strong and beautiful.
this skunk that I have of yours right now, it's not necessarily a thin leaf or a thick leaf. Like the big hands on it, your hands that are at the waist high of the plant are big, giant. I mean, as big as my head leaves, and the fingers on them. Once you get up about halfway, it starts to get pretty fat. But then if you look at the leaves close to the nug, it'll have single thin lit leaves, and it'll have very sativa looking leaves that are up to by the flower, but then farther as you get away from the flower, it's more like these big prehistoric hands,
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that, man.
where a
I've
lot of the new
seen,
stuff isn't like that. It's very the same leaf, the same leaf, the same leaf. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
not.
yeah, 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 yeah. My stuff when it first came out is very distinct. Uh,
Yeah, you can spot it. If you grow it next to anything modern, you'll say, "Well, what is that?"
yeah, it's just a far superior gene pool. There's no point trying to sugarcoat it to save anybody's feelings. It's just
Yeah,
better than anybody else's, and that's the end of it.
yeah, and I'm growing organic fairly easy, man. I don't do any spend very much money on anything. I will give people one tip. I know if they want to hear it or not. Fungus gnats, if you want to get rid of them, uh, get a brick of wood chips and put about an inch of wood chips at the top of your plants. You won't have to worry about them. There'll be a little bit, but they'll never be a problem. And it keeps the top of your pot moist. If you're going organic, that's where you're going to lose a lot of yield if you don't keep that top moist.
Yeah, that's
And I
a
don't hear
great
people
pointer
say
right
this
there.
stuff. I don't hear people say it at all. They'll tell you to go buy neem oil. They'll tell
Yeah,
you buy fungus gnats. They'll tell you do this and that. When all you have to do is get a mulch layer. You can. I just prefer to use wood chips, but you can use whatever. Like Walmart, they sell a bundle of wood chips for $5, and that'll last you 6 months. And it makes it easy with top
yeah,
dress. You just push your wood chips to the side, put your top dress over, scoot it back under, and it even helps with watering because all the chips dissipate the water in different directions, and you get a real even water.
yeah. It keeps it moist as well. It's great. Having a top layer of mulch is always great.
But I don't hear that from any of the grow channels.
Yeah,
You guys from ours, and they'll tell you to go buy all this shit. There's just no reason to. I use Dr. Earth $11 for 4 pound bag. And I use Happy
yeah,
Frog and flour, and I get great results out of it. And then I do ferments, bubble my water type of thing.
yeah. Ferments are great. BioLive, that product is great.
I actually like the Organics Alive for the PK. It's just a fine powder you can put in your water, and it really helps with yield. But I mean, you can use anything. But I just try to. I think about heavy metals. I don't know if it's a thing, but I try to keep that in consideration.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Yeah,
definitely a thing. And if you can make your own nutrients, and so much the better, man.
Yeah, I try to do everything organic, everything as little money as possible. You
Yeah.
don't have to spend a ton of money to grow stuff. I really don't. I do it cheap. I don't. I've mismatched stuff and mismatched fans and
Yeah, nowadays, I just think it's hard to beat, as you say, some ferments, some FPJ, bit of KNF, that type of thing.
that's
That's
where
all
I
you
want
need.
to go because really honestly too, like as long as you have a good base nutrient, if you give your plant the sugars at the right time and a little bit of this and that, salt, this and that, you don't need a ton. I mean, plant does what it does.
Yeah, and also these plants are generally pretty sturdy, pretty resilient, grow themselves, not too hungry for any particular nutrient.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I haven't had any problem with that skunk. I haven't had any tip burn. I haven't had any. Like I said, it just eats light. Like I'm running that light at 70%, and it's still just shooting, straight up at the light, praying, just wanting more light.
so how do you describe it when you say skunk? Like a North American skunk spray or a dead skunk or
It just smells like if you smell a skunk's spray if you're driving out in the middle of nowhere in the country. And the thing is I had a buddy who had a skunk as a pet as a kid. It was degland, but it still stunk, and you still smelled like a skunk.
yeah,
Like I
like
know
on its
what a
fit?
skunk smells like. He'd walk around in little diapers around their house. You'd pick him up, pet him like a cat. You know what I mean? So it's like people say, I don't know
pretty
what a
sick.
skunk smells like, brother. My buddy had one as a pet. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know what skunk smells like. I'm from fucking England. We don't have skunks over
Yeah.
here.
Well, I mean, if you're a heavy smoker and you work out in the sun, your armpits smell pretty skunky.
That used to be their favourite one when I first brought out seeds. So he's from England. They don't have skunks in England, so
Yeah,
you can't know what one smells like.
I still see that in your comment section. How did he
Oh,
doesn't
I
know what a
know,
skunk smells like?
I know.
It's like,
Some proper
okay,
words. Can you imagine being that retarded now in 2025? Like 5 years. Like oh, it's just, oh man,
yeah,
it's just wild.
it's really sad. It's really sad. So when if they want to say I don't know what a skunk smells like, I've literally held one in my hands, brother. I live in an area too where there's skunks everywhere. I'm in America.
Well, it's just become a joke now, man. It's pretty embarrassing for anybody who says I don't have skunk or don't know what a skunk smells like. It's just embarrassing now. Like 5 years, bro. 5 years. It's a long time. It's half a decade of daily fucking skunk.
Well,
And
the proof is showing up. I mean, guys are starting to show your plants on YouTube. I'm starting to see stuff, you know.
I just, yeah, I've not seen anything on YouTube to be honest, but
In the last year, I've seen a couple people post plants. You know, blue sky skunk. Boom, they're showing it. I mean, I've seen it. There's one on there now, maybe a 3 or 4 months ago, but I never seen it at all. But I see little shorts. I see there was a guy in Virginia that grew your plants out.
well, they've gone to every state in America. They've gone all across Canada. They've gone to Mexico. They've gone to the Caribbean. Gone across Europe. Um, fucking most places. Most places. I don't think I've sent any to China or Japan. Sent to Thailand, South Africa. Fucking absolutely loads sent to. Totally repopulated South Africa with skunk.
I heard South Africa was growing gelato a few years back.
Yeah, they were just growing complete shit from what I saw when I was
That's
in
so
touch with
sad,
the
man.
South African people.
I always
Yeah,
wanted to try lamb's bread. I never got to try that.
I was really, it's one of the few things I'd be interested in obtaining actually. Just, so I'm pretty sure I've not had it, man.
I don't think I have either.
I'm pretty sure I haven't. I had something I bought a long, long time ago of somebody that said it was Jamaican, um, but it wasn't lamb's bread. It was nice, but it wasn't that. And when I went over to Jamaica, what, a couple of years back now, even people in the mountains there, Rastas in the mountains, said it was gone. They couldn't get hold of it. But apparently, there's a couple of people, I forget who it is now, maybe Snow High, somebody mentioned, and some collective in America. There's more people in America that actually do genuinely have lamb's bread than what you could find in Jamaica right now, from what I'm told.
It's really crazy, man. That's one I've always wanted to try. I mean, I love Bob Marley. A lot of people don't know he professed Christ as well. I think Bob's dope. I would
Yeah,
love to
I
smoke it.
didn't know he did that specifically, actually.
You can find clips on YouTube of him talking about Christ, and he talks about how well I won't get into it, but
Why
he
not? You can get into it if you want, man.
well it just he would talk about how like what's wrong with making Africa better.
Sure.
People don't like to hear that, and I think that's why he's dead.
Oh, yeah, I reckon they definitely killed him off, no doubt.
Yeah, he was half Jewish too.
He's half Welsh, I know that.
Yeah, well, he's half Jew.
His father was from Wales.
Yeah, it's just I don't know the dude like that's one strain that interests me. I think Bob's an interesting guy. I think anybody that professes Christ probably isn't lying to you.
I
You
think
know,
his kids are dicks, though.
well, yeah, but I mean,
They're proper sold out, you know. I used to like Damien Marley at one point, but then I saw some bullshit he did. I was like, fucking hell, you sold out, can't you?
I don't know much about him at all. Like, Bob died young, probably didn't get a
Yeah,
huge influence in his life, and then you get surrounded by all those Hollywood,
yeah, yeah,
people just want to make money off of you.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I,
makes sense.
Well, guys, it's been a good episode. It's a pretty good recording length. Most people sort of don't tune in too much longer after about this period
yeah,
with their attention spans these days. But it was a fucking cool episode, Bill. And if you'd like to come on after you've harvested and smoked your skunk, you're welcome back on, bro, for sure.
Right on. Like I said, I'll get you some better pictures. I took those like on my lunch break as fast as I could, just because I was excited. Like shit, I got to get some pictures of this real quick, doing.
I appreciate that, man.
And
So
thanks for
yeah,
having me on, dude. It's good talking to you guys. I've listened to hours of the podcast. I really enjoy it. I've learned a lot. You know, it's been really interesting.
as I
No,
say,
yeah, for sure, man.
if you think of anything you want to talk about again in the future, and if you want to come on and tell us about your skunk, you're definitely welcome, because we appreciate your support and your testimony on the skunk as well.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. People that do me right, I try to do them right.
Well, also definitely looking forward to getting you back on once you've popped a few more of those Tip Town Ticket 2.0, because yeah, you do some females now, and I've honestly, I've literally seen nothing but really excellent plants coming out of that pack. In some ways, it seems like it is a progression and an improvement on. I don't know, man. It just seems like there's like nothing but winners so far from what I've seen. I've
Well,
seen.
I've never stuck my hands into a plant to take some leaves off. My hands come out wet. You know, like the plant feels wet.
That's a
Like
very good description, bro.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's just hard to even explain to somebody who's grown for a while that you go to pull a couple leaves off and your hands just soaked.
Yeah, it feels wet, like you say, like a wet, almost like a water,
Yeah,
like a liquid more than an oil.
it's nasty too. It's like if you've ever had like honey get on plastic or something, you know how it's nasty, dude. Like it's not you're not gonna come home on your lunch break and pull off a few plants and then go right back to work. People are gonna smell you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You have to get the alcohol out and hose your hands down.
yeah, yeah.
That
It's
sounds insane.
Yeah, it's I'm telling you, that's my best testimony I can give you.
well, when I say it, they are the loudest genetics in cannabis. I think there is nothing louder, stronger, more potent. You know,
Yeah, I'm thankful for them.
yeah, me too, man. I'm thankful for old timer one, I guess, but ultimately more so God, because if it was down to old timer one, we wouldn't really have these.
That's
So
right.
I almost wonder why he fucking preserved them and did what he did. I just think he was used by God in many ways. That's the only
God can use a bad person or a good person. He can use whatever. You know, it's His book.
100%. And I don't think old timer was a bad person. Let's not get that mixed up. But he
Well, I
was,
mean, I'm just
but
saying
he
in
was just a
general.
normal person. He's just fucking flawed person like
Yeah,
anybody
just like
else.
everybody,
I think he's
everybody
aiming
falls
at the
short
fact
of
that like
whatever.
you don't need to be a saint. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying with old timer one is he wouldn't have he had no intention of the wider world getting hold of these genetics, like almost zero. Yes, he lets them out for the server auctions, to raise money for the server for the website UK 420, and that's how I got some of them. But the way I've put out seeds is not how he wanted seeds put out or how he put them out himself. That he put them out on a very limited release basis once a year, occasionally, or to his friends, all that kind of thing. And it seems like he basically tried hiding it from the majority of people.
I mean, I get
Um,
why, if he's an old guy, he's probably terrified of getting in trouble, you know?
like he's been around though since day dot, since like the first version of the internet came about in the early 80s or some shit. He
Yeah.
was online. And he was
Was
on
he trying to
the
get famous at all, or was he just trying to make some
no,
money?
no, complete opposite. He's like the complete opposite.
He's
He
trying
was
to make some money.
Yeah, I think that's probably where it stems from.
Yeah, he was the complete opposite of Sam or anybody seeking any form of notoriety or fame or celebrity. He just wanted nothing to do with anybody.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't ever have any interviews for like any magazines or like a YouTube channel or anything like that. I said he should like consider even just recording his thoughts on tape or something, because he did have so much fucking knowledge of just everything to do with cannabis, basically, you know. And
Yeah, there's hardly any answers in breeding. A lot of these guys say they're breeders, and then you ask how to like lock in a trade or do something, and there's just question marks.
well, he used to share information and pass on knowledge a bit, but I don't know. Yeah, he just didn't really put out the genetics in any
Yeah,
meaningful way, and certainly didn't want anybody putting out genetics and using his name, which is what I did, but purely for the sake of the fact that they all originated from him, no other
yeah.
reason, you
What are
know.
you gonna do?
I don't give a fuck. I'll say now for a fact what I've got right now. Never in a billion years would I trade what I started with for it. You know, what I've done is improve his work. He did great work and did great selections and preservations and collected and all the rest of it. He gave me a fantastic base to work from, but nonetheless, I definitely
You've been
don't give a
smoking it
fuck.
for a long time, and you've been picking the best stuff out.
Yeah, I've improved it, no doubt, no doubt. And I've put out way more than he ever would in terms of the range of stuff I pulled out of there. That's just purely miraculous. That's only down to God as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Just,
the whole plant's down to God. I mean, if you grow and you make something better and you fatten up a yield and you grew it last time, it's way better this time. It's because you know your mind shaped that plant just like God. You know,
yeah.
my
And like
opinion.
for me to start with two varieties, Lot 5 and ESB Haze, and end up creating that Town Ticket original pack with 60 different fucking mothers on, you know, or in.
Yeah,
That's for me. That can only be like that's God's work, not mine. I never could possibly have done that by design or intention. You know, to pull from just two varieties like 60 distinct and different like mothers. You know, that's
yeah,
mad.
that's
And
amazing.
they everything. You know, and you look what that original Town Tickets pack produced, like every fruit that you can imagine. There's no need to list them. There's no fruit that you could think of that wasn't fucking found in that pack. Then all the disgusting smells, like the skunk spray, the skunk carcass, the rotten flesh, the burnt rubber, the dog shit, the vomit, the body odor, all of that kind of thing, all of the rank smells, then all of the chemical smells like turpentine, ammonia, chlorine, all the burnt stuff like burnt wood, burnt plastic,
Yeah,
burnt rubber, um, just
you get that
endless.
asphalt burnt rubber smell. I love that.
Yeah, that's been found.
That's
Glue, like adhesives and stuff like that, that's been found. Chlorine and gasoline and
a lot of that stuff will take on really different smells when the flower too. When you cure it, it'll have really good complex stuff.
yeah. To get all of that out of what I started with is just fucking absolutely amazing, you know?
Yeah, well, and like you, when you sent me those 50 seeds, you can look through them, and there's just all different types of seeds, fat, big heavy black lines, some of the biggest seeds I've ever seen, some of the smallest seeds I've ever seen, but
Yeah.
you can tell that they're diverse.
It smells like ooze. That is such a fucking awesome smell to find in cannabis, you know? Um,
There's so many times I'll smell something and I'm like, I just don't know what that is. Like
yeah.
it's an alien smell, like it's similar to something, but cannabis will produce something. You're like, I don't really, I can't put a finger on it.
Yeah, that happens usually every year. Every year that I do something, I'll find at least one that doesn't, I can't describe at all.
Yeah,
And if it hadn't been for that Chinese lizard wine that I'd had in the Chinese restaurant, I'd never have been able to name that or describe that one at all, you know? I'd have been completely at a loss to describe it. But
yeah,
what
I
I
know
did,
exactly what you're talking about. Well, I
what
heard a podcast recently where they said the same, like if the lemon has a lemon smell, it's the same thing in cannabis. It's not any different. It's that lemon cannot be synthetically made. If it's a natural lemon smell, it's the exact same, right down to the DNA. It's the same smell. It's not different. So if
no,
a natural smell exists, I believe cannabis can produce it. If it
yeah,
exists.
I mean, because what's interesting is that again with that well, with the oud, when I first originally came across the oud tip profile, um, that was just crazy because I was literally smelling plants in the midday, sort of early afternoon, on the mountain where I was working. And then I went into town later that day and went to some shop that was selling all kinds of incense and natural products of various kinds. And I was like looking through all these jars of shit and smelling things. And I was like, what is that? Because I was like, this is fucking exactly the same smell as what I was smelling earlier on my plant. And I was like, what is this? Again, because that's how I see it. That's God's intervention. It's crazy for me to be the same day that I first discovered that smell. It makes itself known to me. I'm like, I can't describe that. It's just this unusual new smell. And then the same day to go into town and randomly go to that place and, find out that it was oud. Because,
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? And he said, it's oud. It's like a type of incense, but it's also used in perfumes and fragrances. But yeah, so I've got cherry oud musk. Once I found out what oud was in the original variety, when I then bred the second season and found oud stuff, it was mixed with like cherry and musk. But I did not link the cherry oud or even oud to the Chinese lizard wine. But what was interesting more recently is in the UK, I bought something called Gaharu Buaya, if that's how it's pronounced. It's called white oud, and it's produced in the same way as oud, but it's not like the proper oud, if you get what I mean. It's like a cheaper version because it's a different tree that it comes from. But anyway, this white oud that I bought just for wanting to smell to expand my repertoire of terp knowledge type thing. It smells exactly like Chinese lizard wine. So I was like, fuck. So this thing that is white oud and Chinese lizard wine smells exactly like this. It's related. It's funny that I've got like this range of oud smells. I've got the traditional oud, the more pleasant, nice one, and this weird one is what's known as, I say, white oud. But it's in that family, if you see what I mean,
Yeah, I'm
of
gonna have to throw some of those out for sure. I
odors.
still have only grew maybe 2 of those.
But yeah, man, thanks for coming on the show, bro. I think we'll wrap this
Yeah,
episode
guys, it's
up.
nice talking to you. It was really cool, man.
It was cool, and as I say, welcome back
I
anytime.
don't get to talk to anybody about this stuff. I'm Mr. Quiet. You're really the first people I ever
That's what
talked
it's
about any of
like.
this stuff.
That's what it's like when we're growing in prohibition, man.
Yeah, it's sad that it's holding the plant back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, one day it'll be good. We'll be in heaven, Blue.
Well, there's more to come on that, man. There's more to come along this line. There's more information to be revealed about these plants in
I'm
relation
excited.
to things like that. So you're not alone in noticing that they've got some spiritual effects.
Yeah, if I would suggest any out there, is smoke some of this and read the Bible. You'll feel better.
100%,
Everybody has
100%,
anxiety. The only way to get rid of it's in that book.
definitely. Well, appreciate you coming on the show, bro.
Appreciate you guys too. God bless you.
God bless everybody listening and
Yep.
catch you on the next episode.